We've been programmed to get as many things done as possible in the minimum amount of time, and then we add more onto it. And people burn out and they wonder why. You've got to learn to take it easy. You've got to have a mind that is cool, not a mind that is distressed. And that's up to you because you create the way you think.
Why is it so difficult to stop doing?
Yeah, it's an important subject because it is only a relaxed mind that will support heart. It is only a relaxed mind that will support enlightenment. It's only a relaxed mind that will be able to heal the wounds of the heart. Yet none of us were programmed for relaxation. We were quite often programmed to be doaholics, constantly doing. And we got rewarded for that doing because we got results by doing. But it takes us so far away from our own true nature, it's not funny. Constant doing is the reason that more men wake up than women. Because women have the task of taking care of small kids, which are constantly demanding. And so they're constantly doing. Whereas men have a little bit more free time to do nothing. And it is in learning to do nothing that we can truly relax, when we're not constantly trying to find things to do. Doaholism is one of the greatest forms in the way of enlightenment and in the way of the perception of the heart. And unfortunately, most of us have been programmed to be doaholics.
Why do you think so many people are burnt out?
They try doing too many things at once.
Yeah.
Well, that's the obvious answer, isn't it?
How do you go about living in society today when everyone values doing lots of things and getting bigger and better and more powerful, more wealthy?
You run your own race, you don't compete. Like, I had to learn to run on empty, which means using the least amount of energy to get the most amount done, because I had chronic fatigue for 15 years. And so I learned to run on empty, which is actually quite cool. You still do things, but you don't do as many things. And so if once upon a time I could do 10 things well, I would do 5 things well, but I'd still get 5 things done. We've been programmed to get as many things done as possible in the minimum amount of time, and then we add more onto it. And people burn out and they wonder why. You've got to learn to relax. You've got to learn to take it easy. You've got to have a mind that is cool, not a mind that is distressed. And that's up to you because you create the way you think. Nobody else does it to you. You do it to yourself. So putting yourself into an environment where there's a great deal of stress, where there's a great deal of doing, is also your responsibility.
You just said you have to learn to relax. What's the key to that?
Let go and acceptance is the key to relaxation. And so I learnt a game that I called Zero. And I practiced Zero for a lot of years. And Zero was anything that was truly relaxed, where my mind was absolutely at peace, was Zero. And anything above that was not Zero. And my aim and my goal was always to stay at Zero, no matter what I was doing. And so I'd find myself above Zero, and I'd find a way to let go and come back to Zero. And I practiced that for 15 years because I could clearly see that relaxation, or having a relaxed mind, or a not upset mind, was the way. People who stress out have terrible lives, and they make other people's lives terrible as well.
There's a Zen saying, sitting quietly doing nothing, spring comes and the grass grows by itself.
That's incorrect. It's sitting silently doing nothing, spring comes and the grass grows by itself.
What does it actually mean?
it means sitting silently, which means not thinking. People think, oh yeah, I could sit silently. Yeah, really. Try sitting silently and not thinking. That Zen koan or phrase is very difficult. You had to have mastered your mind to be able to do it. To sit silently and do nothing. And spring comes and the grass grows by itself. In other words, awakening occurs. But that's because you've programmed the mind to not stress, to stay silent. And the only way you can do that is by letting go of all the belief systems that disturb you. Undoing them. And that's up to you. No one can do that for you.
In your life now and before you became a Satsang teacher, you've had to deal with a lot of flack.
Yep.
How do you remain cool and have a silent mind while dealing with that?
While dealing with flack, which is criticism from outside, you have to have mastered surrender. You have to have mastered acceptance and let go. Otherwise you can't do it. Because there's always going to be people out there that criticise anyone who tells the truth. The truth is a very expensive commodity. Most people don't want to hear it. What they want to hear is some convenient lie coming out of your mouth that matches their belief systems. And when you don't do that, they go to war with you. And I've found in my experience, quite often because they can't find anything that's real about what I've done negatively, they start making stuff up. They tell lies. It's just the way it is. The moment you start telling the truth, you put a target on your chest and a target on your back for all the immature people out there who don't want to hear the truth, want to hear some convenient lie. It's just the way it is.